Alright guys and girls, how are we doing? So I'm out riding on the ZZR today and just been thinking about all the trials and tribulations that we've had to go through over these last 2 years filming these moto vlogs, and I just kind of want to share those experiences with you in a little bit more detail, just in case you guys are looking to get involved in this kind of thing, what you can expect, and kind of like, yeah, how you can overcome some of the problems that that you will inevitably encounter. So yeah, let's jump on the ZZR, let's go for a ride, and let me tell you what I'm on about. Yeah, guys and girls, honestly, I've been so humbled recently by all of the support from you guys. And I mean, we've got some OG supporters that have been with us right from the very start. Let me know down in the comments, guys and girls, how many subscribers we were on when you first subscribed to our channel. Because yeah, we've got a lot of awesome folk in our little community here, and it's only growing. And I mean, part of my job is to not just encourage people to get involved in riding motorcycles, but also get involved in anything else that riding a motorcycle might encompass. So that includes things like motovlogging as well, even if that is for something, even if it's just something that you want to do just to as a hobby, or if it's something that you want to do to create memories or things like that. You know, whatever the motivation might be, hopefully today's video is going to help you guys out in pretty much what it entails and how you can capture the best possible footage that you can. I mean, we've done a video recently about the helmet setup that I've got right now, that I'm wearing right now at this moment in time, so definitely check out that video if you want to, or leave it up in the top corner for you if you want to watch afterwards. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Having the equipment is one thing, and actually being able to capture that footage is another issue entirely. I mean, the biggest issue that we have had over the last 2 years, without a doubt, has been equipment failure. Whether that be with the cameras, whether that be with the microphone, the dictaphone, the batteries, the SD cards, whatever you can think of, hardware-wise, we've probably experienced an issue with it on a shoot. And that's the worst thing. You don't want to go out on a shoot or capture something that you'll only experience once in your lifetime, to then get home and realize that you haven't captured it at all because your camera crashed or something like that. Yeah, it can be an absolute nightmare, especially for people like me who are trying to release content on a regular schedule, or schedule, whatever, or however you say that word properly. It just means that all that work that you did has gone to waste, literally. So yeah, it might have had a fun ride and all, but if you weren't able to capture it, then what was the bloody point, you know? But anyway, so equipment failure is one of those things that you will definitely have to encounter, or that you'll definitely encounter at some point, and you have to deal with. But I mean, this is the thing, you learn these things over time. So I mean, one of the things that I didn't know about when I first started was the whole V30 SD card thing, because I mean, the cameras themselves won't tell you that your SD card isn't a V30 card, where they probably should give you a bit of a notification, because even at, I think, 1080p, if you don't have a V30 SD card in your camera, in your GoPro, or your DJI camera, or whatever camera you decide to use for this, at some point or other, probably quite soon, you will experience a failure, and you won't even know. You'll just get like, well, you might get an error on the on the GoPro saying SD card error, stop, I'm going to stop recording now, basically. And it's just an absolute nightmare, to be perfectly honest with you. So the V30, make sure that if you get any card, if you make sure it has a little V30 icon on it, a V30 logo, I'll put it up on the screen for you so you know what I'm talking about. It's really important, really important. I mean, the cards that I use every day are 128 gig SD cards. Those are good enough for 1440p footage for, I think, a couple of hours, 2.5 hours of footage. I think you can probably get double that for 1080p footage, if that's what you prefer to capture. And I mean, if you're going to upload any of this stuff to YouTube, always make sure that you upload it in 1440p. So if you've got a video editing software, make sure that you export those video clips, export them to 1440p, even if they're 1080p, because the codec that YouTube uses at 1440p is much better than the one it uses at 1080p. At 1080p you get like some kind of grainy effect in motion, and it's frigging awful. You get it, especially in video games, you see it a lot, because a lot of video games are captured in 1080p. Doesn't matter, if you capture your footage in 1080p, use some video editing software and export it again to 1440p and upload it to YouTube in 1440p or 4K. Honestly, it makes a world of difference. But speaking of video editing software, we've done a video a long time ago about the best free video editing software, and that's the thing, that's how I got started, alright? With any of this stuff, you're working all to a budget, alright? So you're buying the most expensive camera you can afford, but everything else, you really are on a budget. So things like video editing software, I mean, right now, we pay for our video editing software. We pay for Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro for me has been the best video editing software that I've had the chance of using. I know that you've got like Final Cut Pro and things like that, but Premiere Pro is the one that we like to use. But I mean, yeah, video editing software. There's a software that you can use called Shotcut, and it's totally free to use. It functions very, very similarly to professional video editing software. I mean, in terms of export options, it's a little bit more limited, but I mean, it's good enough for starting off. There is a massive learning curve as well, but I mean, to be honest with you, it is a learning curve, but if you spend the time practicing, you'll get it. But we do have a video kind of like detailing, giving you a little bit of a tutorial on how Shotcut works. I mean, I don't know if I can do an updated video on that, because I haven't used Shotcut in about a year. So, and I know there's been more releases since then, more versions of Shotcut that have been released since then, so I'm not sure if that's worth doing. But if that's something that you guys want to see in future, then let me know. Let me know down in the comments. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do this moto vlogging thing, the hardest part is thinking of good content to shoot. Now, the kind of style or the kind of approach that we take is that every single moto vlog that we do has a topic. Yeah, so it's designed to either be informative, or it's designed to make people aware of a certain issue. You know, but there's a story, okay? There's something that gives it substance, you know, because otherwise what's the point? I mean, I have kind of thought in the past about literally just uploading videos of me riding around Gloucestershire, but I don't know if that's something that people want to see. I mean, we did kind of like attempt that kind of style of video with our moto therapy kind of ASMR targeted video, where I don't say a word, I just go on a really lovely ride on an early Sunday morning. And it was a wonderful ride, to be fair, but it did take quite a lot of effort to shoot that video. And it was mainly one of those things that I thought, well, this is something that people can fall asleep to. So if you literally just open up YouTube, put on that video, put your head back on a pillow or something like that and just nod off, that was the point. The whole point of that video was to be relaxing. And even you know, if you want to watch it all the way through, it's quite relaxing to watch. But no commentary from me, no talking, no nothing. It was literally just me riding the bike, and that was it. I mean, I'm looking to do one with the ZX2 in the near future, but let me know down in the comments if that is actually what you want to see or not. I don't know. I need your feedback on that one. But yeah, I mean, because one of the biggest issues that we've had recently is trying to think of new subjects to talk about. Because, I mean, even though now is the time where we're having to consider investing money in new motorcycles to kind of keep the content ticking over with the actual motorcycle related content, whether that be reviewing or whether that be, I don't know, just kind of going over the features of a particular motorcycle, anything like that. Unfortunately, we've got to spend the money to do it. I mean, recently I did try to get involved with some kind of with a dealership, a local dealership, to see if they would allow me to get on some of their bikes, to do the reviews of the bikes, to kind of, I don't know, just to try and add something new to the channel. And even though the guy I spoke to in the shop seemed quite keen, I haven't heard back from them. I gave them all my contact details. I haven't heard back from them at all. So I don't know. I might have to go back there again at some point in the near future to give them a little bit of a bump. But yeah, a lot of the time you've got to do this stuff yourself. You've got to invest your own money to making these things happen. I mean, that's why I really insisted on trying to get hold of that ZH2, because that's a motorcycle where, you know, you can make a lot of content about that bike because there's so much to talk about. It's such an awesome motorcycle, and it's one of those bikes that when you're spending that kind of money, a lot of people might even look over. You know, they look at that point more towards the sport bikes or maybe even the Hyper Tourers and things like that. But the ZH2 has got a lot to offer people in a lot of those areas, whether that be in riding for enjoyment or touring, whatever the case might be, the use case. Honestly, the ZH2 has got an awful lot to offer. But I mean, it's got to the point now where, yeah, we've been doing videos about the ZH2 for, well over a year and a half. I think in August it'll be 2 years since I owned that bike. So, and it'll be 4 years since I owned the ZZR. So, you know, but unfortunately with this kind of stuff, if you want to try and spice it up, you've got to rotate the motorcycles over. So what I would like to do is buy a motorcycle that I can do a load of crazy videos on. I got some really interesting ideas to do on a motorcycle like that. But I'd also like to buy a motorcycle that I can rotate every 6 months. So I'd buy it, do as many videos on it as possible over, I don't know, over 6 months, sell it, and then get something else and do the same thing and kind of continue that cycle. But that's difficult because you could hold on to a bike for a lot longer than 6 months if no one wants to buy it. So again, that's something that we might have to try and overcome. But I don't know, we'll see. That's kind of like the plan, that's the idea that I've got right now, to try and keep new motorcycles coming up on the channel. I mean, by the way, if any of you live in the Worcestershire, Gloucestershire, Somerset areas here in the UK, and you would like your motorcycle to feature on our channel, then let me know. Let me know. Send me an email, goblinrides@gmail.com, send me a message on Instagram. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to feature your motorcycle on the channel. It benefits us and hopefully it'll benefit you as well. We can give you guys a bit of a shout out on your social medias as well. And yeah, we just work with the community. Especially if you've got a really quirky motorcycle that not many people have, then I'd love to feature it. I'd love to feature it on the channel because I think it'd be absolutely fascinating. You know, letting people see motorcycles that they've never seen before. Yeah? And kind of, yeah, just give those motorcycles the exposure that they deserve, pretty much. But yeah, man, I mean, it's not easy. Doing this isn't easy. I mean, I work 40 hours a week, full time at my job, my primary job, the one that pays all the bills, and I do this 10-15 hours a week. I run my martial arts gym as well, which is at the moment about 6 hours a week. Sometimes it can be up to 10 hours a week as well. So yeah, guys, I mean, a lot of work goes into this, and not to mention things like paying for the fuel and the insurance. It takes a lot of dedication to do this kind of thing. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not easy. And there are times where it gets boring. I mean, I literally had a conversation with wifey a little while ago, about how I feel like now the only time I get out and ride my motorcycle is because I need to shoot a video. And that's not right, you know. It should be a case of I want to get out and shoot a video because I want to shoot a video, or because I want to ride my bike. You know, not because I want to try and get something for YouTube. But unfortunately, that you will go through some of those occasions where you feel like it becomes a job in that effect because you have to do it. And you know, when I mean dedication, pretty much I give up most of my free time doing this, mostly Saturdays. I give up my entire Saturday, depending on the weather, maybe a Sunday, but I give up basically a whole day to shoot all the videos and to edit at least one of the videos, and then during the week I get the opportunity to edit the rest. The wifey tries helping me every once in a while, but I don't know, I mean, she's got her own things going on, you know, so I don't like putting pressure on her if I can help it, but yeah, I mean, hopefully in the near future we will be able to get hold of an editor or something like that, even if they're part-time, just to help with the load. Because I mean, shooting the videos is one thing and then editing them is something else entirely, and it all sucks up time, unfortunately. But yeah, it's difficult, guys. I mean, especially if you want to release multiple times per week, you haven't got a choice. That's what you've got to do. And I mean, that's the thing. With the YouTube algorithm, the more you upload, the more exposure it gets. And you've got to try and strike a balance between uploading frequently and uploading quality. Now, there are certain channels that do the opposite of that, where they upload, say, once per month or maybe once per fortnight, something like that, and the quality of their videos are much better, but they don't get the exposure that they should do simply because they don't upload frequently enough. And that's the thing as well, in order to try and keep your audience fixated or your audience interested in your channel, you have to keep on uploading stuff, but it's got to be interesting, it's got to be varied, it's got to be content that your audience are going to like, but also things that will expose you to new audiences. And it's a constant battle trying to figure out what new content we can shoot every week and trying to keep up with that flow. I mean, the live shows have taken a bit of a dump recently, just because we've struggled with our time, especially because of other things that have been going on, like Download Festival and things like that. I mean, we are looking to go on holiday as well at the beginning of July, so we got to try and figure out how we're going to be able to do content around about that time as well. I don't know, we'll have to see how we can do on that front as well. But yeah, time management is one of the hardest parts. If you want to try and do this properly, time management is vital. It's really funny as well, because I know that some of our viewers would prefer the longer form content, you know, where I'm out riding for half an hour or longer talking about a particular subject. But that's the time, that's the problem, that I don't have that amount of time to do that. The short form content tends to perform better. God blimey, that road is awful. Short form content tends to perform better, and it's easier for me on my time. So it's again, trying to satisfy your audience is difficult, trying to juggle that as well. But I mean, that's the thing, guys. I mean, some of you might want to do this just as a bit of fun, you know, maybe earn a little bit of extra cash on the side, a little bit of a side hustle. But for me, I want this to be a career. If I can make it a career, then that's what I want to do. Just being able to ride and talk about motorcycles all year round, 24/7. That'd be my dream come true. And we're a long way off from that. Don't get me wrong, we're a long way off, but we're getting there. You know, we are slowly getting there, slowly but surely getting there, and the growth of the channel is accelerating. But that's the thing. Every time your channel accelerates in growth, you've got to keep that up. You can't stop, because that growth will then stagnate, or people might even start unsubscribing from your channel. They'll stop following you, and it just becomes a never-ending battle, because you're in a constant state of burnout. you know. But I don't know, guys and gals, it is what it is, you know. If we want to try and make our lives better, if we want to try and do what we're passionate about as a career, if we want to try and doing it for a living, then unfortunately that is what you have to do. That's a sacrifice you have to make in order to make that a reality. And you know, I've been doing this for just over 2 years now, and I want to keep on doing it. I want to keep on doing it for as long as I can, especially where I get the opportunities right now. I want to make the most of them. But anyway, guys and gals, I hope that today's video has given a little bit of an insight into what it's like being in my shoes, shooting these videos, producing content regularly and trying to keep it interesting, trying to keep it of a good quality every week. It's hard, I'm not gonna lie, it is difficult, but at the same time, to be challenged is a good thing. You know, having challenge throughout your life is a good thing. It keeps you on your toes, keeps you trying new things, and you know, it should keep you young. So I'm gonna keep on doing this for as long as I possibly can, and if I can make it a career, then that's awesome. But that's all down to you guys. So make sure to leave a like, hit subscribe if you want to keep on watching this kind of stuff. And I know this isn't going to be the kind of video that's going to you know, many people are going to watch. I don't think many people are going to watch this kind of stuff because they haven't done in the past. But hey, we'll see how it does. But yeah, let me know down in the comment section below how you're finding the content at the moment and what kind of stuff you want to see in future. And kind of like, yeah, just let me know what you guys want to see. But thank you ever so much for joining me on today's ride. Thank you very much for kind of listening to my little rambles. But yeah, massive thank you to all of you 6K subscribers. You guys are absolutely awesome. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining us. But anyway, as always, leave a like, hit subscribe if you're new. Ride safe. We'll catch you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys and gals. Take care.